cat or not. There's a little cat here called Elfie. She's pretty cute, very smart, and she can be very insistent. And she sits on my, well, she's kind of stood on my lap right now. And, well, we'll see what happens. You may see a tail now and again. But I guess to some of you, this is not a big deal because Reverend Lisa, when she comes on, almost always, has got a cat somewhere in the vicinity, on her shoulder, by her side, tail wagging there. Anyway, so let's just go for it. Today's reading, it's really straightforward. It's a very straightforward reading. It's not particularly religious or spiritual, at least that's what I think. It says, I am for me and not against me. I am for me and not against me. First quote is from the Gospel of Matthew, chapter 5, verse 8. Blessed are the pure in heart, for they shall see God. And the second quote is from Ernest Holmes, who says, if we learn to harmonize with everything that transpires today, tomorrow will blossom like a new flower in our experience. And that's Living the Science of Mind, page 193. Reverend Josh says the following. It's one thing to say the universe is for us and not against us. What about my mind is for me and not against me? My body is for me and not against me. American psychologist Carl Rogers stated that the goal of his counseling and his therapeutic work was to assist clients in learning to trust their own organisms. In other words, if we could just fully trust, we would be the most well-adjusted individuals there could ever be. Let me just have a look. Oh yeah, there goes the tail. He goes on to say, today I trust my mind to work for me. I trust my body to work for me. I trust the wisdom they contain and demonstrate for my highest and best good. And what about my feelings are for me and not against me? My sexuality is for me and not against me. Today I feel just right. And obviously the cat feels just right because she just got off. US President Ronald Reagan used to caution, trust, but verify. Having full trust in ourselves and in life doesn't mean we do not have discernment. We can trust even our skepticism. When we truly live in trust, we don't just experience a spiritual realization, I would say, or a realization. We realize we've earned that trust through great effort, trial, and error, understanding motivations, and a whole lot more. Then he says, what about my challenges are for me and not against me? My relationships are for me and not against me. He finishes by saying, the universe is for you and not against you. If true, it must follow that also means everything in the universe is for you, including you. So I think it's a pretty straightforward message to change from saying this is against me or that's against me or what happened there, why did this work, why did God do this, why did this happen, to saying that things are working for us. And I think the challenging one really is to say when he says, where is it now? What about my challenges are for me and not against me? Of this whole raft of stuff here, I think the hardest one is that my challenges are for me and not against me. So maybe we can reframe that and say, whatever I do, if I look at it as a learning experience, then that completely changes how I view it. So I don't fail at anything. In fact, Edison said, when they asked him about, he tried, I forget what it was, 1,000 times or so to create the light bulb. He said he didn't fail. He just found 1,000 ways that it didn't work. so he had to try another one. And I think, to me, that's probably a better quote than saying Reagan, trust but not verify. But anyway, that's just my take on all this. So I think it's a pretty simple message. And when I come across simple messages, I don't feel the need to belabor it. Do you? The affirmation: my mind, my body, and my entire being are for me and not against me. My mind, my body, and my entire being are for me and not against me. And it gives us another one. We live in harmony. We live in harmony. So that's really all I've got to say about this. As I said, I think it's pretty straightforward to flip our thinking from looking at what's against us to looking at what is for us. And if it's hard to do that in the total context like this, just start with something small. And oftentimes we think maybe our body's not working for us, but if we start to say, my body is for me and not against me, and we repeat that, use that as an affirmation, then eventually, once we come to start believing that, then our body does start working for us. And when we say with our mind the same thing, it starts working for us. So it's really an exercise in just keep persisting until we know that it actually works. Reverend Weiss will be on tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock. I'll be back tomorrow evening, Thursday. Yeah, I should be back about 5 o'clock tomorrow evening. And until then, just have a great rest of the day. Who knows if it's going to rain again today? It seems to be the year of the rain, as I mentioned the other day. So if you live in this part of the world, stay dry. And if you come across deep water, for God's sake, don't go in it. Stop. Find another way around. Because often it's deeper than it looks. And vehicles will stall when you don't think they will. So just really take care. So until next time, namaste. And if I can find where my screen's gone, oh, it's here. So see ya. Bye. Whoops.